go the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days, and I am here with the funny man, Mr. Dan Durney. Welcome.
Thank you for having me today. I'm
Such a-
excited to be here.
Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
We're just going to have a nice, relaxed conversation here about Mr. Dan.
All right. My favorite subject.
Yes, yes. You know what? You're a comedian, performer here in the Valley, and not you work outside of the Valley as well,
Mhm.
performing. And one of the things that I love about you is that you're a family man. You create clean material so that the family can go and enjoy you.
Mhm.
I love that because, there's times where you can't get rid of the children and you have to take them to a set, take them out to enjoy a great night of comedy also. That is one thing I love about you. When in your life did you decide that you wanted to do stand up?
Well, I would say about almost 11 years ago, it was actually by accident. I had been attending some shows called cleancomedyclub.com promoted by Anders Berg from Swede Clean. It's not clean till it's Swede Clean. And he was producing shows, and I had attended several, and it was my birthday in January of 2011. And he said, Dan, we're going to comp you in for a show for your birthday, which saved me all of $5. Thank you, Anders. And I said, that's great. And then before I could stop the words coming out of my mouth, I said, I always wanted to try. She said, sure, they'll put you up. So now I'm on the hook. No material, got 5 minutes to do. So I look up some jokes on the internet and I do my first set, but I got the bug. It was January 2011. Whole audience was silver haired. Half of them probably couldn't hear me anyway. And but I got the bug.
That's why you won them over, huh?
That's right. So anyway, that was the first time that I did a show with Keith Ellis and Jonathan Gregory, a couple of other guys here in the Valley that do great comedy.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you're also a dad.
5 daughters.
Wow.
Comedy gold.
5 girls. Wow.
Lots of material.
Yes.
And great girls.
So did comedy make you a better dad, do you think?
Did comedy make me a better dad?
I don't want to say a better dad because I'm sure you were an awesome dad, but did it help with the girls? Dad being funny and
No, I would think they would probably cringe if they hear me. Yeah, no, I don't think so. No, kind of separate that out a little bit. Although I have had opportunity to perform with one of my daughters who's a singer.
Okay.
Her name's Celine, and we've done some shows together. In fact, one of our memorable shows was here in Phoenix here at the Salvation Army Rehab Center on New Year's Eve. And we were asked to do some comedy there. And I performed with Robbie Wagner here in the Valley also. And Celine came. And so I opened and then Celine sang. And then Robbie headlined. And then they brought Celine back up for an encore. But it was really good experience.
You being a comedian did help. I mean, you were a performer. I'm sure that really helped Celine with wanting to get into the performing industry as well.
Well, I think she was probably motivated enough herself. She's very talented and been singing since she was 3. But I've also been involved locally here in the Mesa Easter pageant. I did that for about 10 years. And a couple of times they were in the pageant with me as well. So I had good experience doing things like that.
How would you describe your style of stand-up?
It leans toward self-deprecating and relatable. Things I'm 60 now, so that's kind of my demographic is a little older set.
Yeah.
Although I did do a college set in Philadelphia. It was all college students at Temple University, and it went over quite well.
Great.
But I would say it's kind of a little older.
So what kind of joke did you tell to those college students?
Oh boy. Well, it was talking about senior dating. And so they relate with dating sites, but dating sites specifically for seniors. So when you're interested in activities that seniors are interested in, so it's plenty of bingo, or you're trying to find a companion that matches up with your health needs. So it's bonemarrowmatch.com. And then you combine religion and ailments common to seniors, and you have Christian shingles.
Oh my goodness.
So they appreciated the dating site bit.
You know what? I'm gonna have to make sure my camera guy don't beat you up on the way out talking about these senior jokes. I'm not calling him a senior citizen. I'm just saying we all getting there soon.
They
But
can catch me.
who are some of the greats that you admired?
Oh, I really like Brian Regan. Greg Hahn I opened for him. He's a veteran Marine, and I opened for him at a veterans event here in Phoenix at the Wrigley Mansion.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's probably one I laughed the hardest I've ever laughed. You know, where you're crying and can't breathe.
Yes.
But yeah, Brian Regan and Greg Hahn and Jim Gaffigan, some of those comedians that are just clever and clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're a family man, as I stated earlier. You're known as the clean comic. Does that limit you in any way for the gigs that you can take?
It's interesting that you asked that. I've done shows where I'm the only one not dropping the F-bomb, and I'm not trying to be a holier than thou kind of thing. It's just not, that's just not my style.
Right.
And I've had people come up to me as they're exiting saying, we really enjoyed the clean comedy.
Yeah.
And so I like that situation. But I tend to limit myself more about the gigs that I do. So I prefer to do
Right.
gigs where all the comics are going to be clean. I will share a funny story with you. I was doing a show at the Tempe Center for the Arts, and it was a clean show, billed as a clean show, and the producer had the comics staying around him in a semicircle, and he says, okay, now, you know that I'm not necessarily the cleanest comic, but this is a clean show. There's grandpas, there's kids here. If you have to ask me, don't tell it. And all of the comics, except me, pulled out their notepads and started striking bits off their set with their pen.
I bet they did.
So it was just kind of interesting, but the show was awesome. So I think people appreciate clean comedy.
You know what? I think comedy is comedy. I mean, it's either for you or it's not. And to tell a good joke, you don't have to curse to tell a good joke.
Totally agree.
I mean, sometimes there's a joke that if someone cursed, but if it's a good joke, sometimes that curse word may be needed. But it's not needed to create a good joke, I don't believe.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I had a show recently here where it was specifically billed as the clean show. And the host and I were staying in the back. I was 4 comics deep into the lineup. And he asked me what my name was. And I told him Dan Durney. And he says, where have you performed? And told him San Diego and LA and Vegas and Miami and Orlando, et cetera. And he said, okay, I got it. And then he goes up there and he says, okay, the next comic come to you is performed in San Diego and Tennessee and Alabama. He forgot.
Yeah.
And he says, give it up for Dan Durney.
Oh.
So everybody's clapping, and because they don't know that's not my last name, except for
Right.
my 6 friends in the back row. They're like,
Yeah.
what? And so I go up there and exchange the mic, and I said, doing a great job hosting, except my name's Dan Durney. And he had walked around to the back and clears the bell, boom, drops the F-bomb. And everybody laughed, though, because it was funny in context, right? So I get the video home, and I'm going to upload it and hear that. And I said, I can't upload that. And so
Right.
my daughter Celine came over, and
And
she
she-
helped edit out the 1.25 seconds of the F-bomb. And so
That's the
that works.
beauty of editing.
Editing.
So Dan, outside of comedy, you also do a lot of things in the community, which I find very awesome because, you know, a lot of times we're so busy, we don't get time to do the community work that we want to do. And you work with different organizations. Can you tell us a little bit about?
So my main day job is I do franchise development for Assisting Hands Home Care, which is a senior care franchise providing caregivers in the homes of seniors.
Oh,
Allow them to stay in their home as long as possible. So we have locations here in the Valley and across the country, and I help find franchisees for that particular franchise. And then I also am involved in church here, and as I mentioned, I've been involved with the Easter pageant before and different activities like that. And then when my girls were younger, we were involved in Four Peaks Little League, so they all played slow. They started in Mesa slow pitch and then moved into fast pitch.
Oh, okay.
So I coached a number of teams.
Amazing. So you do a lot in the senior community, which is amazing. I mean, that's a population that, a lot of times, I come from the healthcare industry, and a lot of times that they don't have anyone but their caregivers. And they don't have the family to support them or take them out on outings or shopping or to a comedy show. So I love that you were doing that.
Well, the impact that caregivers have not only on the life of the senior, but also the extended family is just amazing. And the people that are involved in that, all the way from the caregivers to people that schedule them and do the intakes and figure out who the best caregivers are for them.
Right.
All of
Because
that
they
whole-
play a key role in their lives. But
Definitely.
I also know you brought us some photos today.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a look at those.
Okay. Where do I look for those? Okay. So that there is the best headshot I've ever had in my career. So I use it for everything.
Very nice.
It was at a trade show and the guy positioned me just so with the angle and whatever. And it turned out with that. So I use that quite a lot.
And
I'm wearing the same shirt.
And you happen to look the same today. Good.
Didn't think about that. Let's see what else you got up there. That's usually my performance shirt. I could take that with me because it doesn't wrinkle.
Okay.
And but I was told not to wear wild prints on the set, so I didn't bring that one today. But that was at a show in San Diego at the Borden Brew or something like that. I forget what it was. And this was a picture the first time I did comedy in January of 2011. On the left is Keith Ellis, who's been on your show.
Yes.
And on the right is Jonathan Gregory, who is also a well-known comic. Here's a headliner here in the Valley as well.
Okay.
And that was my first time doing comedy with stand-up comedy.
I often wonder this question, and I guess it would be like someone asking an actor, do people expect you to be acting all the time? But as a comedian, do people expect you to just throw jokes around all the time and be funny all the time?
Well, in some circumstances, namely my family, I'm told that you don't always have to try to be funny. So no.
That's those five girls, huh?
That's the family side of it. But sometimes when people find out you do stand up, they say, "Okay, come on, let's hear something," or whatever. And just kind of like a monkey performing at.
What if Kathy asked you to give me something today? I mean, is that possible?
Oh my gosh. Well, I can talk a little bit about. When you get older, things start to go, like eyesight, for example. I've been golfing and I have trouble seeing where I hit the ball, and I came home and threw the clubs down and said, I can't do this anymore. I lose sight of the ball when I tee off. And she says, "Why don't you take my dad out with you? Because he's 85. She says, "Yeah, but he sees perfect. He doesn't even wear glasses. He has perfect vision," which is true. I said, "All right." So I take him out, put him in the next week, put him in the golf cart, prop him over the pillows. I say, "Okay, you got one job, Pops. Watch where the ball goes. Tell me where it goes. Can you do that?" He says, "Yeah." So I tee off, lose sight of the ball again. Did you see where it went? Sure did. This might work. So we get in the cart. We're driving down the fairway. I said, "Okay, Pops, where's the ball?" He goes, "What ball?" Is that what you wanted?
Well, he said he had good eyesight, not a great memory.
There you go. This is the same guy that we took to the doctor, and the doctor said, "I've got bad news and worse news. You've got cancer and Alzheimer's." And he goes, "Whew, at least I don't have cancer."
Oh. Where can our audience find you?
You can find me on Facebook at dandcomedy.com. And you can also text LAUGH to 888-745-2844.
It was such a pleasure having you
Thank
here
you
today.
so much. Enjoyed meeting with you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us here on Desertwood Days, and we will catch you next time.